What if I told you that there's a city here in South Florida where you can live on the water, hit the beach before or after work, walk to dinner, drinks, and even happy hour, and make it to your kid's flag football game after work without sitting in hours of traffic? Obviously, it's not Miami. It's not even West Palm. It's actually Fort Lauderdale, which has been slept on for way too long. And I know what you're thinking, Joe, are you serious? Fort Lauderdale? Isn't that for like retirees and spring breakers? No. That's Fort Lauderdale of the past. Fort Lauderdale is changing. It's actually changed a ton even since I've grown up. And we help people relocate here all the time, whether they're families, young professionals, boat lovers, even those looking for a second home. But they're all chasing after this same thing, a perfect mix of the laid-back lifestyle and luxury. So in this video, I'm gonna show you why people and myself actually love living in Fort Lauderdale. And surprisingly, it's gonna be some of the little things that you might not have thought about. So let's jump right into it. And if you're watching this video because you're thinking about relocating to Fort Lauderdale or South Florida in general, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. We help hundreds of people just like you every single day make the move down here to Fort Lauderdale and South Florida in general. You can call us, email, text us, whatever is easiest for you, but now let's jump into it. The first thing people notice about living in Fort Lauderdale, the vibe. Nowhere near as much hustle and bustle as that of living in Miami. And on the flip side, nowhere near as quiet and not a whole lot going on like that of West Palm and Palm Beach County. Fort Lauderdale is a great mix of both. It's a laid back atmosphere with plenty of energy at the same time. You want some hustle, bustle, energy, and nightlife, you can go to downtown and the Las Olas area, and there's plenty to do, even along the Riverwalk. You want a little bit more laid back, kind of the suburb type feel? We have that a little bit further west, maybe even a little bit further north into Pompano as well. You want a small town beach feel? We have that with Lauderdale by the Sea. So there's a lot of great different atmospheres all right here. Plus, if you do want the hustle and bustle of Miami, you're only a 30-minute Brightline ride away, or you can drive down there. If you want a little bit more quiet, a little bit more refined luxury, we're also about a 30 to 45-minute Brightline ride away from West Palm. So you have everything right there at your fingertips, which I think kind of plays into the second point. And that's the location for Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale's smack dab right there in the middle of everything. Like I just said, we're only about 30 minutes to Miami, about 45 minutes to downtown West Palm if you're taking the Brightline. Now, if you're driving, that's a completely different story. It can take you sometimes about an hour and a half, 2 hours down to Miami. If you go at the absolute worst time with traffic, on average, you can make it from like downtown Fort Lauderdale to downtown Miami, about 30 to 45 minutes. To downtown West Palm driving wise, about 45-ish minutes to an hour. Now, speaking of that, Fort Lauderdale's in a great location when it comes to the highways because you can hop right on 595, get out west to like Weston, Pembroke Pines, Coral Springs, Plantation. We also have 95 right there to go north and south. The Turnpike isn't too far away either. And we also have 75 further west as well. On top of that, Fort Lauderdale is pretty much right there on the water. We have the beachfront with plenty of great beaches, whether you're going to actual Fort Lauderdale Beach, Central Beach. You're looking for something a little bit more quiet, like Lauderdale by the Sea Beach we talked about. There's also Pompano Beach, everything going on there, especially with the pier. Deerfield Beach, which is really slept on. If you're looking for a great volleyball game, all the locals go to the north side of the pier, all the tourists go to the south side of the pier, but the volleyball courts right there at Deerfield Beach on the north side are unbelievable. I remember growing up when we were in high school, my buddy Jake and I would go, and his dad's like, yeah, just go play volleyball with those girls and stuff. Like, oh, we were thinking, oh yeah, sweet, we'll go play volleyball with some girls. We got our butts smoked every single time. So there's some really good games out there, and they actually do some tournaments with FAU and some of the local high schools and colleges as well. Now, on the further south side, we also have Dania Beach, which is a great hidden gem. I know people are gonna kill me for saying this, but it might be one of the best hidden beaches in all of South Florida. And then we also have Hollywood Beach with the Broad Walk. Now, obviously the beach is great, but personally, what I like about Fort Lauderdale is the water. And I think that ties into our next point, the boating. I mean, the boating in Fort Lauderdale is top tier. We're nicknamed the Venice of America for a reason, with over 300 miles of inland waterways and canals to go ahead and explore. And we're actually the yachting capital of the world. Now, granted, you don't need a yacht to go and explore the waterways. As long as you get out on the water, whether it's a kayak, paddleboard, jet ski, your friend's boat, your own boat, hopefully the goal one day, that new Scout 67 LXX, that thing is freaking sweet. But as long as you're out there on the water, it's a great time. We also have a great sandbar just north of the 17th Street Bridge, which is a lot of fun. You can head out of either one of our inlets. So we do have the Port Everglades inlet right here in Fort Lauderdale. Head a little bit further north into Lighthouse Point, go out of the Lighthouse Point inlet, and people actually just hang out right there the Lighthouse Point Inlet as well. You can anchor out there. There's also a little beach area. It's a lot of fun on the weekends. Head a little bit further north into Lake Boca and Lake Wyman. Now, Lake Boca can get a little rowdy sometimes, especially with Boca Bash, but you gotta do it at least once. Now, speaking of rowdy, head a little bit further south into Hollover. Hollover Sandbar, unfortunately, has been dredged, but that is still a lot of fun. Also, one of the more dangerous inlets, the Hollover Inlet. I think it actually might be the most dangerous inlet in all of South Florida. So if you're going in and out of that one, please be careful. Now, if the water and the beach aren't your thing, don't worry, because we do have a great selection of parks and other family-friendly activities. So to start off with, Hugh Taylor Birch State Park, which is directly across the street from Fort Lauderdale Beach, right there in the corner of Sunrise and A1A. So it's on the west side of A1A. You can go hiking, walk, bike, you can go camping, go fishing, or just walk back across the street to the beach, which is really nice. Now, in terms of other parks around the area, we do have Holiday Park, which has pretty much everything, some sports fields, basketball, tennis, pickleball. There's also the Federal on top, which is a restaurant. You can overlook pickleball. There's also the Iceplex there. And they do have weekly events, usually on Friday night for the indoor ice skating, which is a lot of fun for the kids. There's also, and adults, which is fun. There's also George English Park, which is probably one of the more hidden pickleball spots. So like if you're not like really good, or you're a little bit like, oh shoot, like I'm trying to get warmed up and get into it, that's a really cool spot. There's also basketball there as well. Speaking of basketball, there's also basketball courts right there on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and there's even a hidden park in Lauderdale by the sea as well. On top of that, we do have Snyder Park and the Fort, which has the world's first pickleball stadium, along with a ton of outdoor courts, as well as covered courts for pickleball. Now, in terms of museums, the go-to one has to be the Museum of Discovery and Science. Honestly, I even like it as an adult. I think it's really cool, so your children will probably love it as well. We also have go-karting, like that of Extreme Go-Karting and K1 Speed. We do have plenty of trampoline parks around, movies, bowling. Honestly, Wilton Manors Bowling has been the spot. I went in high school, my brother now goes in high school. That's the spot for bowling. And we even have iFly, which is indoor skydiving as well. But if you're thinking about moving your family down here, don't worry, we made a video on some of the best cities to raise a family in Fort Lauderdale, and I'll link it right above. From there, let's get into a little bit more of the adult activities, and that's more so the nightlife. Not like that, get your mind out of the gutter. The nightlife here in Fort Lauderdale isn't anywhere near as chaotic as that of Miami, and nowhere near as sleepy and like asleep by 8:30 as that of like Palm Beach and West Palm. It's got a great balance. Do we have clubs? Yeah, we got a couple, but nothing like that of Miami. But what we do really shine is kind of the happy hour scene. We're starting to get more restaurants and stuff along Las Olas, and the bar scene is really good here, especially with some of the dive bars. I think the dive bars are pretty cool, like that of Elbow Room and Blondie's on the beach. But we do have some more upscale options finally coming to Fort Lauderdale, like that of the Palm Room. Moxie's is really fun. We have American Social, and even some new rooftop bars, like that of Nube right there on the beach. We have rooftop at W1LO, as well as Sparrow, which is like one of the OG rooftop bars. But let me know in the comments down below, where's your favorite place to go out here in Fort Lauderdale, and where should we go and check out next? And I think the nightlife is a perfect segue to our next point, and that's the food scene here in Fort Lauderdale. And Fort Lauderdale really has something for everyone. Whether you're looking to take your boat out and go and dock and grab maybe a nice steak at that of Mastro's, go to Kalou's, maybe even a sports bar like that at Boat Campers, or head to my favorite seafood restaurant here in Fort Lauderdale, and that's Coconuts. You can even go there because it's right on the beach. On top of that, Fort Lauderdale has a bunch of different options that have new to the area. I believe we have about 17 new restaurants here in the Fort Lauderdale area alone, between that of like Livia Bar and Grill, Earl's, Timber. We have 60 Vines, Ocean Prime, which is opening up soon. Elba, the Salt 7 did close, so I guess that takes away from things, but it wasn't technically new. On top of that, we do have some great Italian restaurants like that of Runway 84, Livia Bar and Grill, Vitolo on the beach. We have some great steakhouses like that of Daniel's Steakhouse and D's Sports Bar. We have some great donut shops, surprisingly, as well, like that of Donut Cream, Hollywood Donut Factory, and Parlor Donut. I know, 3 donut places. Great breakfast sandwiches like that of Bagel & Co. Top tier. They have one, oh shoot, I forget the name of it, but it's every single breakfast meat plus a hash brown on the bagel of your choice. Unbelievable. You gotta at least go and try it. So we have that, and we do have some great fast food options like that of Chicken Kitchen, which is one of my personal, you can't go wrong with Chicken Kitchen. Think about it. It's a bowl with rice and chicken. It's grilled chicken. Now the sauces, you know, that's where you can kind of screw up, but Chicken Kitchen alone and Zona Fresca, those are 2 top tier Fort Lauderdale fast food places. Speaking of Fort Lauderdale staples, we gotta talk about Jack's. You know, Jack's is a solid burger, nothing special, nothing bad, but it's always solid. And you know, speaking of some of these food options, you wanna be able to walk to them. You also wanna be able to walk to some of the nightlife. And that's where I think Fort Lauderdale really flies under the radar. It actually is quite a walkable city when you really think about it. The downtown, the Las Olas, and the Flagler Village area are all extremely walkable, along with other pockets and depending on the neighborhood that you live in. For example, like Galt Mile and Lauderdale by the Sea. All those places, you know, you really don't need a car to get around. If you wanted a bike or a golf cart, most people use a golf cart, by all means you definitely can, but you can pretty much walk to everything within all these, especially as things start to get developed and built out more. Like for example, all the projects coming to Flagler Village, once everything's built up there, you really won't have a reason to leave Flagler to come to downtown Los Olas unless you're grabbing like dinner or nightlife. You'll also have dinner and nightlife options in Flagler Village, and even the new Equinox, which is coming, will be in Flagler Village. So people will actually be walking from like the Coley Hammock, Las Olas area, probably to Flagler Village. Now, in terms of Galt Mile, now finally the Publix has opened or is about to open. So you really don't have to leave and go across the bridge at all. You have everything right there. Groceries, great food, and great drinks. Same thing in Lauderdale by the Sea. Rio Vista is extremely walkable. Coral Ridge might not be as walkable, but what Coral Ridge does have that some of these other neighborhoods might not is the waterfront living. And let's be honest, when you move to South Florida and Fort Lauderdale, the big thing, like we talked about, is the boating. So if you're a boater, I don't want to have to go to the marina, wait on them, kind of work my schedule around that. I want to be able to walk out into my backyard, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, hop right on the boat, go out while there's no one out, and it's just like a sheet of glass. It's sweet. Go out, hang out for a little bit, come back, be back by about 12:30, 1 o'clock, just in time for the games on Sunday, hang out with the boys by the pool, maybe grab a cold one, hang out, be the person washing off the boat, just out there, maybe getting some work done. It's really a huge way of life here in the Fort Lauderdale area, whether you're living in Fort Lauderdale, Pompano, even Deerfield and Lighthouse Point. Waterfront living is a huge way of life here. Think about it, Pompano and Lighthouse Point used to be pretty much fishing villages, and that's the huge draw to it because you can go out right there of the inlet like that. You can be out from Lighthouse Point out of the inlet maybe 5 to 10 minutes. That's sweet, because you can go out and go fishing early in the morning, come back. Like I said, you'll be back by noon and you can get everything done. Now, don't knock it till you try it, because waterfront living, once you go to it, I promise you, you probably won't want to go back to not living on the water ever again. Now, maybe the waterfront life isn't for you and you want to live in the suburbs. Fort Lauderdale does have some of the best suburbs in all of South Florida. And when we're talking suburbs, we're pretty much talking about everything west of 95. So that includes cities like that of Davie, which is technically a college town because Nova's there, but it's also a suburb at the same time. Plantation, Pembroke Pines, Weston, Coral Springs, Coconut Creek, Parkland, and even Boca. We're gonna steal Boca because a lot of people in Boca actually do things in the greater Fort Lauderdale area. And the suburbs get really the best of both worlds. You get a little bit more land, a little bit more space, a little bit of larger of a home for the same price point that you could get in Fort Lauderdale. And you can also have the beach life and keep your boat at a marina and still go back and forth, because even if you lived all the way west, and for sake of example, Coral Springs, you can make it out to Pompano, Fort Lauderdale in about 30 to 35 minutes with traffic. With traffic, that's not bad at all. On top of that, I will say one of the things that we really do pride ourselves on here in the Fort Lauderdale area are some of the schools. We do have some great ratings from Niche and greatschools.org, with Boca obviously having the highest rating in terms of public schools, but in terms of private schools, there's tons of great options throughout the greater Fort Lauderdale area. Whether you're looking at K through 12 schools like that of Pinecrest, you have American Heritage, Westminster Academy, North Broward, even Sagemont. And then for high schools, we have some great ones like that of St. Thomas and even Cardinal Gibbons. And honestly, the cherry on top is that you have everything right here at your fingertips that you could really want. Whether you want to go shopping at a luxurious mall like that of Boca Town Center, the Aventura Mall, Sawgrass Mills Mall, Broward Mall, Pembroke Lakes, even the Coral Square Mall. Everything's right here. You have plenty of strip centers throughout with some of the best gyms in all of Fort Lauderdale: Powerhouse, Amped, Retro Fitness, LA Fitness, Sawgrass Fit, Fitness System, even a brand new Equinox coming to Flagler Village. Granted, it won't be here till 2028, but you can see we have a ton of great gyms, plenty of different grocery stores, whether you want to go to the OG Publix, best grocery store in the land. Just kidding. I went to a Heb once. That thing was, or HEB, whatever you guys call it in Texas. that thing was unreal. We kind of need one. But Publix is still top tier because you don't have pub subs. We do. And we also have Fresh Market, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Costco, Doris Italian Market, which is slept on. A lot of people don't know about it. Great spot. And pretty much any food that you could want to eat, on top of plenty of different little boutiques as well. I'm telling you, Fort Lauderdale really has everything right here. And at the end of the day, there isn't just one thing that makes Fort Lauderdale special. It's a blend of everything from the beaches, the boating, the waterfront lifestyle, the walkability, the suburbs, the schools, everything right here at your fingertips. And once you get a taste of it, you never want to leave. But let me know in the comments down below, is Fort Lauderdale the ultimate South Florida lifestyle? And if you or anyone you know are looking to move to Fort Lauderdale or South Florida in general, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can call us, email, text us, whatever's easiest for you, we got you.